Hello and welcome to the first episode of our Beige Couch Sessions. You're with me, your host, the Headless Expat. If you're planning to move to Japan and work here or even study as an international student, this video podcast is for you. And before you make the big move, I think it's better if you have an idea of what it's like to, secure your finances. So, in this episode, let's talk about everything regarding or related to money matters. So, the first thing that we're going to talk about in this vlog is the frequency of getting paid here in Japan. So, when I first came here, I was an international student, and in my part time job, I was so shocked to know that we only get to be paid once a month here in Japan. So, yeah, that's the first thing you need to consider before moving here. You need to make sure that you know this information because coming from the Philippines, I always experienced like getting paid twice a month. It was like once in every 15 days. But in Japan, it came as a shock to me because we only get to be paid once a month. So I had to be very frugal, be very wise with all my spendings. And yeah, I needed to really budget everything really wisely. But how about in your case, in your country, in the country where you're watching this video from, what is the frequency of, the salary payment? Are you also paid once a month, twice a month, or even once a week? Because I'm not really sure, but my cousins in America, I heard they get paid once a week. But yeah, let us know in the comments what is the frequency of getting paid in your country. So I'm excited to read your comments and to know what it's like working in your country as well. So let's make this YouTube channel an avenue for us to share our culture and anything that's related to our countries or where we're from. So yeah, that's the first thing you need to consider when you come here to Japan. Make sure that you know that you are going to be paid once a month. And for me, I came here through an agency that helped me secure a student visa. They already had someone here who helped us look for a part time job. If I remember it correctly, I arrived here on October 1st, 2017. And by October 24th, I was already starting with my part time job. If in your case, you're planning here without someone who's going to help you find a part time job, I would highly recommend that you prepare at least 1 or 2 months worth of pocket money. The agency that helped us secure our documents advised us to have 1 month's worth of pocket money for us to settle down, buy some things that we need, food, transportation, or yeah, other stuff to, settle us up here. If your agency or if you're doing all the documentation by yourself, it would be more comfortable for you to come with at least 2 months worth of pocket money. And when we say 1 month's worth, like how much exactly do I mean by that? Well, to be honest, I'm not very sure. But in Japan, I believe the average monthly salary of most employees here is like 200,000 yen. I'm not very sure how much it is in your currency, but in US dollars, it is this much. So yeah, this is how much 200,000 yen is in US dollars. So please try to convert it into your currency. And if you have twice of that amount, it would be comfortable for you to settle down here in Japan for the first few months. So that's the first thing. Make sure that you know you're only getting paid once a month here in Japan. And now let's go to the second thing that I'd like you to know about when it comes to money matters here in Japan is the Japanese yen's value. It's quite interesting because I'm getting paid here more than I was in the Philippines. It's like 10 times more.
Wow.
However, I cannot really enjoy the whole net income that I'm getting here because I have to pay rent, utilities like the water, electricity, and gas, also the Wi-Fi, my SIM card provider. So there are a lot of things that I need to, pay for from my income. But in the Philippines, I didn't have to pay for all of these things because my parents provided um, these things for us, for the whole family, and I didn't have to like give money for our monthly food and groceries. So despite earning really low in the Philippines, I was able to like spend all of those for myself. But here in Japan, I have to be very mindful in my expenses because I have to pay a lot of things. But still, I somehow enjoy the job and the salary that I'm getting here. But it's what's interesting is when I talk with my coworkers from America, the UK, Canada, and from other like first world countries, they would always say that they're earning peanuts
Huh?
here in Japan as compared to their pay slips, their payroll in their own countries. But the thing is, even if they're complaining about this thing, they splurge on a lot of things and they even enjoy their life here because everything is convenient. They eat out a lot without, paying for tips, and everything seems cheaper here for them. So it's like interesting because they are complaining about their payment, like it's really low. However, they're enjoying a lot of things here. And one example is like one of my coworkers invited me to, hang out, eat out, and play billiards somewhere, and I already knew that this is something really common among them. And what I heard was that they splurge, like they spend 15,000 yen just for one night, hanging out, eating out,
Ella.
playing billiards and stuff. But wow, 15,000 yen, that's already 3 weeks worth of groceries for me. So coming from the Philippines, like I see the value of 15,000 yen as really high, and I could like spend a lot of things, buy things from that money, but for them that's only one night of entertainment. So it's really interesting because for them they're getting paid here lower than their countries, but they're splurging a lot. So for you guys who are planning to move here, try to compare and check the Japanese yen's value, or if money is not an issue for you, come on right in, come to Japan and splurge, spend your money here because the Japanese economy would be very happy if you do that. But if you are planning to start a life here, consider the financial status, the Japanese yen's value is something that you need to really consider before moving here. Because if you're earning a lot in your country and you're living comfortably there, why do you have to come here? So, yeah, you need to think about that and try to evaluate things like, is coming to Japan really worth it considering how low the Japanese yen's value currently is? So yeah, and for the third thing that I'd like you to know about money matters here in Japan is the gross and the net incomes. I think most of the people know how high the living cost here in Japan is, and if you look for like a job posting telling you how much the salary grade of the job is, try to consider, the deductions, the taxes that you need to pay and that would be deducted from your payroll. And in fact, I have here three pay slips from my current job. So this first one, where is it? Yeah, the first one here is when I started working here in Kyoto City in Japan. And the second one is on my second year, I got a pay raise. And then the third one, which I also had another raise because the Japanese government decided to increase most workers' salary for us to combat the rising prices of commodities. And I will talk to you about the deductions, the salary, and how much take home pay I get in this next video right here. So if you are interested and if you want to get the details of the deductions, I'll see you in this next video.